Are you ready to evolve your life? Are you ready to see immense growth and manifestation in your life? Are you ready to evolve every aspect of your mind, body, and your soul? Well, you're tuned in to Evolved Mastery, and I'm your host, Princeton Clark. And it is my goal to assist you on your journey of self-mastery as you create greatly in every moment of your life. So join me in this episode of Evolved Mastery. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Evolved Mastery. I am your host, Princeton Clark. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone out there is continuously working towards their goals and mastering every area of their life. Listen, today I wanted to jump right into this topic of working through failure. Failure, or the idea of failure, has so many negative connotations around it. And a lot of times when we think about failure, we see it as, something terrible, something negative, an upset in our lives, so on and so forth. But the thing about failure is, as I always say, failure doesn't exist to me. Whenever we are working towards something new, whenever we see a new opportunity to manifest something in our life or to create change in our lives, understand that for each person, as I always say, each person has their life curriculum. Each person has their classroom in life that they must go through. And there's going to be tests. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be homework, that we have to do. There's going to be things that we have to go or grow through in that process. And we're not always going to get it right the first time. We're going to fall down a few times, and it's okay to fall down. A lot of people think that there's this idea of perfection that they must reach in order to truly be successful. But looking at history, most of the successful people in this world were people who failed many times. See, failure isn't a bad thing unless you stop moving. I really want to hit this topic of walking and working through failure, because failure is a sign that you're progressing. You're stepping into something new. See, it's easy to repetitively do the same things over and over and over again, which creates an insanity in your life. It's easy to become habitual in doing all the things that aren't creating the reality that's going to manifest what you have the ability to manifest, or the goals that you have the ability to manifest, so on and so forth. But when we start stepping into something new, we're stepping into a new realm. We're shifting things around in our lives. We're moving into uncharted territory, and a lot of the times some of those areas can be dark, and there's no real blueprint for how to navigate through those areas of your life. So there's going to be times where you take steps and you stumble. But see, the stumbling blocks I want you to look at your stumbling blocks as lessons. When you're moving forward and you're progressing and you're motivated and something happens and you slip up and you fall down, as long as you keep moving forward, it's still progress. When you fall down, look back, ask yourself, what caused me to stumble right there? Maybe it was in your temperament. What tested my temperament? What tested my ability to focus? What tested my ability to be consistent? What tested my ability to step into my power? What tested my ability to love? What tested my ability to build the foundation for this business or this relationship? So on and so forth. Because every stumbling block is nothing more than a lesson preparing you for what's ahead. So stop seeing it as, and I'm going to transition this, stop seeing it as you stumbling, and start seeing it as you being humbled in a moment of challenge, so that you can grow, so that you can take the next step forward. See, a lot of the times it's not that we're actually falling down or we're failing. It's that we are being slowed down so that we can learn how to precisely move in order to move in purpose, so that we can manifest what we have the ability to manifest. And if you can get this, you'll stop being so hard on yourself. You'll start being more positive. You'll start seeing your challenges and your tests and the lessons of your life as great things, because they are coming to prepare you for something that is ahead of you. It's no different than, as I say, going to school, because when you go to school, the teacher's going to teach you many lessons. There's going to be tests, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be projects that you have to do that require you to slow down and pay attention. You can't just breeze through the curriculum thinking that you're going to get an A, thinking that you're just going to pass through it and not be challenged. See, the challenges come as a sign that you've been taught something, and now it's time for you to apply what you've been taught. And so you can't be afraid to give it 110%. You can't be afraid, to fall down or to face challenges on your journey. It's not going to always be easy. 90% of the time, the challenges are going to come are going to cause you to feel like there's everything against you. But that's only testing your reserve. It's testing your ability to resolve the issue and step into your power in that area so that you can fully manifest and produce the fruit that's going to bring a lifestyle of happiness, that's going to create the fruit of the result that you hope to achieve as you step by faith in every single moment. In order to succeed, you have to be willing to fall down or fail, quote unquote, many times. You have to be willing to be tested many times. You have to be willing to go so deep within yourself that you have to face challenges and face tests and face things that the average person isn't willing to face. And this is going to cause us to, quote unquote, stumble sometimes. It's going to cause us to have to face ourselves sometimes. Your path is unlike any other path. It's uniquely yours, and so you can't focus so much outside of you for how to get through your path, and as a coach, as someone who teaches people how to master the areas of their own lives, what I understand is that every person is like a combination lock. No one person is like another. Though we may be able to do specific things or similar things in similar ways, we're all different. We all have a different purpose or way to get to that purpose. And so we have to look within. We have to be willing to face our own challenges in the way that we are being taught in our own earth curriculum so that we can grow and learn what we need to learn uniquely for ourselves and how to apply that to our path so that we can fully step into our power, fully step into our purpose, fully step into the mastery of our own lives. See, because whenever you start fresh, you're creating something new. And so when you start feeling challenged, don't take it as a negative thing. Take that as, okay, I'm stepping into something new now. I've been taught some lessons that it's time for me to apply so that I can step into my newness. No different than when you're in school and you go through different grades. You have to pass certain tests in order to graduate or in order to go to your next level so that you can learn new things that are going to make you more intelligent, more conscious, more aware of what is required of you in order to get to that next level, in order to walk in the next level of your purpose and the next level of your power. See, so we can't be afraid of the idea of failure. We got to see failure or those stumbling blocks or those challenges as opportunities for expansion, opportunities for growth. And we got to be strong enough to stand in our presence during these challenging times, during these testing times. And we have to be willing to say, okay, that didn't go the way I wanted it to go. It didn't work out exactly how I wanted it to work out, but that's because I am programmed to want things a certain way, and I am being grown right now. I am being challenged to expand right now. So let me take a step back. Let me reevaluate the decisions that I made that may not have been conducive for where my life is trying to take me, and let me remaster this area so that I can step more powerfully in a more conducive manner in order to manifest what I have the ability to manifest. See, that's all these things come to do. They come to assist you on your journey because, as I said, you're being expanded, and you have to be willing to accept this expansion, because a lot of times the ego is going to war with it. The ego is going to point a finger at it and say, oh, look at this happen. Every time you trust somebody, every time you go to try something new, something pops up or it doesn't work out, or people talk about you, or things don't work out the way that you wanted to work out. And look at you. Every time you take a step, it just doesn't work. You might as well just go back to being how you used to be. You might as well go back to working it out how you used to work it out. Don't listen to that, because it's clear that doing things how you've always done it isn't getting you to where where you have the potential to go. And so the only way to move into your potential is to move into the newness that is being challenged or expanded in you. You can't stay doing the same thing over and over again expecting a different result. And I'm sure you've heard that plenty of times in your life, people. We're moving into newness, so we're not going through failure. We're going through challenges that are expanding us and pushing us into newness. And that newness is what's going to transform our lives. And so I want to assist you in that process, because you aren't on this journey alone. There's so many other people out there who are choosing to take this journey of self-mastery, who are choosing to evolve every aspect of their mind, body, and soul so that they can step into their power and truly produce the fruit that they have the ability to produce. But I want to give you 3 solid tips, on this journey. If you can apply these tips in the areas of your life that present challenges as you're being expanded and grown, these things will assist you to move more conducively through the challenges, and to keep your head up and to stay more positive through the challenges. Step number 1, or rather tip number 1, is to surround yourself with the right people. See, as you start to grow, the things around you will begin to shift. Your energy begins to shift. So the people that you connect to and how you connect to them will begin to shift. So if you start to outgrow your circle with people who choose to stay where they are, they're kind of, stuck in the same insanity themselves, and they're not really desiring to grow or change, and they just want to keep doing the same things over and over again, you got to shift your circle. And that means you got to surround yourself with the right people. You got to surround yourself with people who are motivated. You got to surround yourself with people who you can talk to about your goals and your dreams and your visions, and who are also moving in their own goals, their own dreams, and their own visions. And you have to reach out to people who, are passionate people. And with social media, it's so easy to do that nowadays. You can follow so many different accounts, or personal profiles who post positive messages all the time, and you can reach out to them, just share your story, share your message, and a lot of these people will connect with you, and so you don't have to take this journey alone. You don't have to feel alone, and you really have to work on building a strong circle around yourself of motivated individuals who are moving in purpose as well, and so tip 1, surround yourself with the right people. Surround yourself with motivated people and people who are walking in their creative power, because this will assist you in standing in the times where you feel like sitting, in the times where you feel like being down on yourself, so on and so forth. These people will assist you in staying inspired and continuing on your path. Tip number 2, don't allow for idle time during challenges. I can't express enough how important this is. See, because a lot of the times when we get hit or things don't work out the way we want them to work out, or we hit a challenging time where, we aren't progressing the way that we want to progress, we become idle. And what happens when we become idle? All the same thoughts or mental programs start running. And the longer we sit there, the longer they'll run. And then what that does is it gets us back into the same rut or same habits that those thoughts produced before we decided to create change. And so we can't allow ourselves to be idle during these times of challenges. We got to keep moving. We got to keep ourselves inspired. We got to keep listening to that positive material, keep reading, keep moving, go out, work out, do something that's going to keep your energy flowing. Do not allow yourself to get idle. Do not allow those mental programs and that idle time to bring you back down into that lower state of being that you were in before you decided to move. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself doing the same old things again. And then you're going to have to re-inspire yourself and pick yourself back up all over again. But we don't want to do that. We don't want to have to go right back to square one to get motivated again. So we got to keep it going, and this is why I say, it's very important going into tip number 3 to motivate yourself. You have to be willing to motivate yourself and be proud of yourself. The things that you want aren't always going to manifest overnight, and so be proud of the steps that you've taken, and I always say, even though I'm not where I want to be, I'm better. At the end of each day, be proud of yourself and say, you know what, I may not be where I want to be, but today I took steps and I'm better. Keep your mind focused on progress. Keep your mind focused on the changes that you are creating. And so, do these things, motivate yourself, inspire yourself, be proud of yourself, congratulate yourself for your progress. See, stop focusing so much on what you call your negative challenges and realize the challenges are only coming because you are progressing. The challenges are only coming because you're taking steps forward and there's something new for you to learn. And so remind yourself, tell yourself how great of a person you are. There will never be another me. I am uniquely created. I am divinely created with a great purpose. Remind yourself of these things, because these things are going to assist you through the challenging times. So again, tip number one, surround yourself with the right people who are inspired and motivated, putting out information and content that are going to assist you on your path. Number two, don't allow time for idle time during your challenges. Stay motivated. Keep going. Ask yourself the tough questions. What do I need to learn? What was challenged in this area? Why was I allowed to be pulled in this area? So on and so forth. And what can I do now to continue moving? You got to keep moving. Do not allow yourself to be idle. Get out, go for a run, go for a walk, meet somebody for coffee, have a enlightened conversation, a conscious conversation, a motivated and inspired conversation. Keep that energy flowing. Don't get idle. Don't get pulled back into that old programming. Don't get pulled back into the old state of being because it's going to be harder to get out of it again. You're going to have to do all the work to climb right back out of that again, because you got to get your energy flowing again. So don't get idle. Don't allow time for idle time. And number three, motivate yourself, be proud of yourself, congratulate yourself, and just embrace the process. Embrace the newness that's coming into your life because challenges only come when it's time for you to step into something new. Guys, look, there's so many different things that you're going to face in this life, and there's so many different challenges that you're going to face, and I want you to get in the habit of saying, you know what? I am not a failure. I'm not failing. I'm only being challenged to expand. I'm only being challenged to evolve into my next state of being. I'm only being challenged to evolve into my power and into my purpose. And as long as I keep going, as long as I stay motivated, as long as I keep doing the work, as long as I keep putting this positive energy into what I know that I have the potential to do, I will achieve what I have the potential to achieve. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Evolve Mastery, guys. Face those challenges, take those tests, step into your power, because at the end of the day, it all starts and ends with you, and I believe in you. So let's go ahead. Let's make the most of it. Let's step into our power and create miraculously. Check me out on evolvemastery.com and also tune in for further podcasts. I'm going to be doing some giveaways for some free sessions and a lot more. Talk to you again soon.